So this little video is just going to be about the melody that's played in the song Señorita by Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. So this, the words are, I love it when you call me Señorita, but the track comes in on the kind of, it doesn't do, which I thought it was for quite a while, though that pattern comes up in the rest of the melody. It starts on the call me Señorita, like that. So what you're doing is you're playing, now you're also doing it quite staccato, so you're sort of slightly muting your string by, muting the string by resting your hand on the strings as you're playing. And it goes 8th fret of the E string, high E string, 5th fret of the high E string, and then 5th fret of the B string. Call me Señorita. So that's 8, 7 and 5 on the high E string. So 8 on the high E string, 5 on the high E string, 5 on the B string, 8, 7, 5, like that. Call me Señorita. And then there's this little run here that comes in, I think 3 times during the course of the melody. And that's the 7th fret of the high E string, 8th fret of the high E string, back to the 7th fret of the high E string, down to the 5th fret of the high E string, back to the 7th fret of the high E string, 8th fret of the high E string. And that takes you back into the next part. So the next part goes 8th fret of the high E string, but because you've changed to a C chord, you can then go to the 8th fret of the B string and down to the 5th fret of the B string. So that last 3 notes is the same as there, and this one is, so that's 8 on the E string, high E string, 8 on the B string, 5th on the B string, and then that little run again. So like you have at the end of the, so 8, 8, 5, 8 on the E, 8 on the B, 5 on the B, 8, 5, 8, 7, 5 on the high E string, and then 7, 8, 7, 5, and back to 7. So the whole thing so far is, at the end of that one you go 8, 7, 5 and down to 8 on the B string, and then 6 on the B string and 8 on the high E string. So 6 on the B, 3 times on the 8th fret of the E, and does that twice. I think it does it 2 hits on the 6th fret of the B string. So 6, 8, 8, 8, 6, 6, 8, 8, 8, and then it finishes off with this little which is played over the E minor chord and the G chord, because E minor chord, G chord. So that's 7, 8, 7, 8, 7 on the high E, down to the 8 on the B. And then it does a slightly shorter version of that. So I'll play along to the backing track and just play that little melody. I would sing, but that might offend us all. Wait, because I missed my intro. So that is the melody line for Señorita.